Hello friends, family world, Luke here with another video. For those of you unfamiliar with our channel, my husband Tyler and I make weekly videos discussing our lives since moving from North America to the UK. In this particular series, I'm going to talk to you about our 9-week Eurotrip that took us through Switzerland, Austria, Denmark, the Faroe Islands, and more. So stay tuned and follow along on our adventure. If you haven't started from the beginning already, be sure to click on our playlist here and click on episode 1 to get started. Today's video is part 2 of our experience in Interlaken, with particular focus on the Kandersteg and Grindelwald areas. We woke up bright and early for the train from Interlaken, connecting at Spiez station to Kandersteg station. Unfortunately, we ended up losing a bit of time because we actually got on the wrong train after Spiez. Fortunately, Switzerland is so well connected that it wasn't the end of the world. We didn't lose a ton of time. We arrived at Kandersteg station and were able to walk to our first stop, which is Öschinensee, which is a beautiful alpine lake. Just a tip, See in German means lake, so you might see that a couple times, especially in Switzerland, because there are so many beautiful alpine lakes to explore. It's a beautiful walk to the lake and it's a well-paved trail, not too difficult to complete, so definitely something that anyone can enjoy. Once we reached the lake, we decided to rent a paddle boat and had a great time on the water, mostly to ourselves, taking in the atmosphere of the lake and the beautiful mountains in the background. A side note as well, you can take a cable car up to Öschinensee if you don't feel like walking. Also at the lake is a toboggan experience that we had no idea was at Öschinensee, and we had on our itinerary for a later day without realizing that we were literally right there at this point in our trip. So if we were to do it again, we probably would have hiked up to the lake, done the paddle boats, done the toboggan experience, and then taken the cable car back down. So if you're considering visiting this lake, do consider that as a potential option to get the most out of this region. After our time in Öschinensee, we hurried back down to Kandersteg in order to catch a bus to what's called Blausee Nature Park. This bus only comes once an hour, so do be sure to be aware of the bus times if you are taking public transit. Blausee means blue lake in German, and you can see why. The waters are very picturesque and turquoise and are actually clear enough that you can clearly see all the fish swimming inside the lake. It was a really cool, unique experience that I hadn't had before. Your entrance fee includes a free boat ride with a glass floor, so you can see some of the fish swimming underneath you while you go around the lake on this boat. We also found that this was a pleasant area to enjoy a picnic as well. Once we were done appreciating Blausee, we took the bus back to Kandersteg, followed by the train back to Interlaken. The weather was a bit tumultuous at this point, so we took it easy in Interlaken the rest of the day and enjoyed a bit of downtime after a busy few days prior to this point. We treated ourselves to dinner at a restaurant called Chalet Beitzli, and we had some traditional Swiss fondue. The next day, after pinching ourselves yet again at the phenomenal view that we got from our hostel room, we proceeded to the town of Grindelwald. The town itself is quite pretty, and there are also lots of hikes to do in the area. We were a bit hiked out at this point in our trip, so we didn't do a lot of the hiking that is on offer in Grindelwald, but if you are, an option is to take a cable car to First Station and do some hiking up there. We've heard that's got some great hiking opportunities there for those interested. We instead spent our time walking around the town and walking into the valley to Grindelwald Glacier Canyon. It was a nice change in perspective, and it's actually a bit cooler temperature-wise, so be sure to dress accordingly. There's also a cool net that you can walk on, and if you want to stand over the water in the gorge. We enjoyed a pretty train ride back to our hostel in Interlaken and took it easy the rest of the day. Another great place to consider checking out when in the Interlaken area are Lauterbrunnen and Muren. We took the train to Lauterbrunnen and then continued on a valley hike to Stechelberg, which takes about an hour and a half. The path is paved and it's not difficult, and there are some detours that you can take. One that we did was up a man-made path which takes you underneath the Stabach waterfall. Another detour you can take is to do a valley hike to Trümmelbach waterfall. There is a fee involved, and we didn't do it ourselves, but we did hear from other people that it is a really nice walk. So that is an option to consider if you're in the area. Instead, what we did is that we proceeded to take a cable car from Stechelberg to the car-free alpine village of Muren. We walked around the cute town a bit before proceeding on a 1-hour hike to Almendhübel, where we enjoyed a seriously insanely beautiful view, a pleasant picnic lunch, and some delicious Swiss chocolate that we had bought for super cheap at the grocery store the day prior. It just really does not get more Swiss than that. We continued along the Mountain View Trail from Almendhübel to Gulchalp, where we enjoyed serene alpine meadows and grazing cows. From Gulchalp, you can either take a cable car back down to Lauterbrunnen, or you can hike about an extra hour or so. We were cheap, so we decided to take the hike, but both are great options to consider. All right, everyone, that is it for our video this week and the end of our experience in the Interlaken region. We really can't stress enough how amazing this region of Switzerland is. We were there for 6 nights and we still didn't manage to visit all the places that you can see in this dynamic, picturesque area. One point I do want to make, though, is that a lot of people visiting Switzerland only visit Zurich and Interlaken. And I think that in that case, you really are missing out on some of the hidden gems of Switzerland. So I hope that the next few videos that I post will show to you how much more there is to Switzerland than those 2 more popular places. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned for our next video, which includes our experience in Zermatt within the beautiful Matterhorn region, the Glacier Express, which takes us to the Romansh-speaking canton of Graubünden, and the only national park in Switzerland, the aptly named Swiss National Park. See you guys then. Bye.